turn your attention to the pitcher's mound for today's ceremonial first pitch. Bethune-Cookman Athletics is proud to welcome program alum Mickey Rawls to Jackie Robinson Ballpark. Rawls was a member of the baseball team from 1968 to 1972. As a member of the Southern Intercollegiate Baseball Conference, he has produced 2 generations of Wildcat student athletes, his son Nick and grandson Nick II. Each have been a member of Bethune-Cookman's football program. Joining Mickey Rawls on the field today is Vice President of Athletics Reggie Theus, as well as Omicron chapter of Omega Phi Phi fraternity, Basileus Dr. Victor Montgomery. All right, Mickey, the mound is yours. Go for it. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for BCU great Mickey Rawls. afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to historic Jackie Robinson Ballpark for today's Southwestern Athletic Conference matchup featuring the visiting Tigers from Jackson State and your Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. And now get your scorecards ready. Let's meet today's starting lineup first for the visitors from Jackson State. Leading off and playing shortstop, number 11, Robert Tate Jr. Batting second in right field, number 22, Tyree Reed. Batting third in left field, number 44, Pierre Cabral. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 25, Edwin Levis-Kitson Jr. Batting fifth at third base, number 18, Tyshawn Patty. Batting sixth, the first baseman, number 27, Wilbert Perez. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 23, Hedrick Torres. Batting eighth in center field, number 7, Isaac McClenty. Rounding out the nine for Jackson State, the second baseman, number 13, Peyton Boynes. And on the mound for the Tigers, the left-hander, warming up in the bullpen, number 28, Jaden Lopez. Jackson State is coached by assistant coaches Chris Stamps, Justin Thomas, and Marcus Atterbury. The head coach of the Tigers in his 20th season is Omar Johnson. And now, the starting lineup for your Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Leading off and playing shortstop, number 29, Eric Almonte. Batting second in left field, number 1, Darryl Lee. Batting third, the third baseman, number 36, Andre Martinez. Batting fourth at second base, number 2, Jeter Boyedo. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 10, Michael Lucena. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 44, Jose Fernandez. Batting seventh in right field, number 5, Michael Rodriguez. Batting eighth at first base, number 33, Jorge Rodriguez. Rounding out the nine for Bethune-Cookman, the center fielder, number 19, Sergio Rivera. And on the mound for the Wildcats, the right-hander, number 31, Tanner Bocabello. The assistant coaches for Bethune-Cookman are Derek Cartaya, Joel Sanchez, Hunter Allen, and the graduate assistant is Peter Vasquez. The head coach of the Wildcats in his 7th season is Johnny Hernandez. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. Let's play ball.
Live from historic Jackie Robinson Ballpark in beautiful downtown Daytona Beach, Florida. It's time for the finale of this 3-game Southwestern Athletic Conference series between the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats and the Jackson State Tigers on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. Hello and a very warm welcome. My name is Michael Torello. Happy to have your company. Jake Barquette joins me once again. here behind home plate on the broadcast. Jade, we were talking before we turned the microphones on today, and I said something to the extent of, this feels like the most important game of the season so far for the Wildcats.
It definitely has that feeling, splitting this series so far in two very different types of games, Friday and Saturday. This is a team for the Wildcats who has been perfect in SWAC play up to this point, and this is going to be a deciding game. Can they come out on a Sunday, dreary day, get the mind right, and put away this series, or are they going to let it drop like they did that Friday night game and really beat themselves at the end of the day?
Jackson State won on Friday, 8-7. The Wildcats responded last night with a 13-2 pounding, and now we get the rubber match here on Sunday. Really nice crowd out at Daytona, here in Daytona Beach today. A lot of people out supporting Nikki Rawls, former Wildcat baseball player who threw out the first pitch. It's a Tanner Bocabello Sunday again for Bethune-Cookman. He gets his start on the mound, making his 7th start of the season. He started great in the first couple of weeks, has fallen off a little bit, Tanner. His ERA is .584 in 24 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 21 runs on 32 hits, 16 of those 21 earned. He struck out 20, walked 13, allowed 5 doubles, no triples, a homer, has not thrown a wild pitch, but has hit 6 batters. Robert Tate Jr. will climb into the batter's box. Bethune-Cookman, maroon caps, gold jerseys, white pants with a maroon pinstripe, maroon belts. Bethune in script maroon, trimmed in white on the front. Bocabello's first pitch is inside and almost hit Tate, and it's 1-0. Jackson State, navy caps, white, gray jerseys, gray pants, navy numbers. And Jackson in script across the front in white. Tate fouls one back to the screen, and it's 1-1. Robert Tate Jr. tops a hard-hitting Jackson State order, batting .286. 4 runs on 8 hits, 3 RBI, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts for Tate. Fastball strike outside corner to the right-hand hitter, 1-2. Correction, Tate batting .355 on the year as he fouls one back. The top 4 in this Jackson State order: Robert Tate Jr., Tyree Reed, Pierre Cabral, and Edwin Lemus Hudson Jr. all batting over .300 on the season. The 1-2 popped up, foul territory, first base side out of play, and the at-bat continues. The 2 SWAC conference starts for Tanner Bocabello have not been great. Against Prairie View, 5 innings, 3 runs on 5 hits. Struck out 4, walks 3. Ground ball right back to Tanner. He does a little pirouette off the mound to corral it and flip to first for out number 1.
Now batting the right fielder, number 22, Tyree.
Then against Alcorn State, allowed 3 runs on 6 hits in 6 innings. Struck out 9 and walked 2. But Tanner Bocabello is a guy that his pitching style is more that pitch to contact, weak ground ball, weak fly out kind of thing. First pitch out and away to the left-hand hitting Tyree Reed. And so he has struggled as the infield defense for the Wildcats this year has struggled.
Yeah, and they really play into one another. We're not going to see a ton of strikeouts from Tanner. However, like you mentioned, he'll get the soft contact, then it's just relying on the defense behind him who, you know, they have their moments and flashes, but it's been pretty steady overall in the infield for the Wildcats. You just need to have his back today.
Tyree Reed tips it foul. 2 balls and 1 strike. Reed, the best hitter in this Jackson State order, batting .374. 25 runs on 37 hits, 7 doubles, a triple, a homer, and 17 batted in. 20 strikeouts to 18 walks. And the Wildcats dominated last night despite the brief 1-inning appearance on the mound of Edwin Sanchez. Bocabello's 2-1. In the air to shallow right. That might be in the area of uncertainty, but Jeter Poyeto makes certain that that is out number 2. And covering the softball doubleheader yesterday, Jay, we saw a lot of balls hit just like that in between infielders and outfielders, and communication key on the play like that.
Absolutely. They have to make sure they're calling off one another so there's no delay in making the play.
First pitch in the air, down the left field line off the bat of Pierre Cabral. It will go well foul. Cabral, the second best hitter on this team by average, batting .360. This is at bat number 101 on the season for Cabral. And he tips it foul back to the screen, and it's 0-2. The only batter on this team with a consistent OPS of over 1,000. 27 runs on 36 hits, 6 doubles, 5 homers to lead the squad, and 27 RBI, also a team high for Cabral. Swing and a miss. Curveball in the dirt made him look silly. And Bocabello goes 1-2-3 and gets out of the first. We go to the bottom of the inning. It's no score here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. To the bottom of the first here at Jackie Robinson. Eric Almonte leads off for Bethune-Cookman after Tanner Bocabello mowed down Jackson State 1-2-3 in the first.
And when I said we're not going to see a lot of strikeouts from Tanner, he ends the inning with one.
Well, he did have 9 Ks against Alcorn State in his last start. We move to the offensive side of the ball. Eric Almonte first pitch swinging a foul ball away. The Wildcats today face Jaden Lopez, the left-handed senior, the transfer from the University of New Orleans, making his 8th appearance and 6th start of the season. The lefty deals outside on the slider. 1-1. He's got a 6 even ERA, Lopez, 30 innings pitched, 21 runs on 23 hits. 20 of those 21 earned, striking out 30 and walking 25, so a volatile pitcher. 1-1. Outside 2-1. He's given up 3 doubles, no triples, 3 homers, has thrown 3 wild pitches, hit 2 batters. His record is 3-1, including his last outing, which was one of his best of the season. Almonte in the air, fouled down the first base side, 2-2. Went 6 full innings against Prairie View, allowed 2 runs on 3 hits, struck out 8. The Wildcats last night took care of Derek Arocha for Jackson State, and pounded JSU pitching to the tune of 13 runs on 11 hits.
Absolutely handled business, and an exclamation mark of a response from Friday's game.
1-2. Almonte off the end of the bat to right field, dropping quickly, and it bounces over the glove of Reed, who charged and slid. That one's gonna head towards the wall. Almonte flying around second. He's headed to third. He's going around third. He's headed home. The throw is not in time! Inside the Parker for Eric Almonte. 1-0 Cats. Wow!
They don't call him the Wildcats for nothing, Mike. That was insane. First batter of the game for the Wildcats. Put that type of energy shift on a game like this on a Sunday afternoon. That ball drilled into right field, but catchable, playable. It just took a weird bounce at the last second, went all the way to the wall, and with the speed of Almonte.
Darrell Lee now tries to bunt. It comes off the glove. The throw to first. Not in time, and Lee is safe. The Wildcats causing chaos in the JSU defense.
When it rains, it pours, and it's starting to sprinkle right now for JSU. The first error out in right field, and then that one right there not caught by the first baseman, allows Lee to get on.
I gotta get my heart rate down.
I know.
Inside the park home run, first pitch drag bunt from Lee, and he beats out the throw after the ball pops off of Lopez's wrist on the mound.
You never know what's going to happen here with these Wildcats.
And now here's Eric Almonte. Looks like they want to continue the momentum from last night into today. Right quick, big changeup in the strike zone. 0-1 on Almonte. I didn't get to numbers for either Almonte
You couldn't get to much.
We didn't have a chance. 0-1. Outside 1-1 as the game slows down a little bit. Here is the numbers for Andre Martinez. He's batting .276, 19 runs on 21 hits, 6 doubles, a homer, and 12 batted in, getting on base at 37.8%. A flip back to first. Lee standing there on the bag. So if you just joined us, well, you missed a lot.
Right.
Tanner Bocabello got clean through the top of the first. Eric Almonte led off with an inside the park home run for the Wildcats on a ball that was charged by Reed in right field, hopped over his glove and went back to the wall. Runner goes to second. The throw down there is in time, and Darrell Lee is out. That takes a little bit of the sting out of there for the Wildcats. 1 down.
Just a little bit. Didn't
Not
get the
a
best
great
of jump.
Yeah, not a great jump for Lee, and a great throw by Torres behind the plate. Right on the money to Boynes, the second baseman. So now base is empty, 1 down. The count is 2 balls, 1 strike on Martinez. This is one of those games, as there's a strike, 2-2, that it doesn't matter how many runs either team scores. It feels like neither team will be out of it because of how well they can hit the ball.
Right. Both bats, last night a little bit less for JSU, but both bats throughout the season have remained hot.
Strike 3 called. Curveball outside corner. Martinez goes down. And now Jaden Lopez is 1 batter away from only giving up 1 run in this first inning. That looked like it was going to be big for the Wildcats.
Now batting the second baseman, number 2, Jeter Poyeto.
For Andre Martinez, his 14th strikeout of the season. Here is Jeter Poyeto, second best on the team in terms of batting average for the Wildcats at .319. First pitch under the legs of Torres into the backstop, a ball and no strikes. 27 runs on 30 hits for Poyeto. 8 doubles, 4 triples. a homer and 26 RBI. At one point, Jeter Poyeto had the most triples in the country, but he hasn't had one for a couple of weeks and has since been caught. Check swing, he went around for strike one. One nothing Wildcats, bottom one. 2 out, space is empty. Infield back on the grass, especially the middle infield, the pitch. In the air to left field, that's very well hit. It is gonna be down and hop to the wall. Poyeto going for second. He is in there with a sliding double.
Continuing to just rake the ball is Jeter Poyeto. That one almost hit to the ball. Bounced right in front of the left fielder, and then he used his speed to get into scoring position.
You talk about speed, Jeter Poyeto, right? We talk about his triples. His 4 on the season is still tied for the lead in the country with about 8 other guys that have 4 triples. Now 2 outs, here is Michael Lucena. First pitch, a slider inside, ball 1. Lucena has the best average on the team, 367. 17 runs on 33 hits, 4 doubles and 24 batted in. The 1-0 from Lopez, cracked towards short, on the ground, fielded by Tate, and that's the end of the inning. A run on 2 hits, and, sorry, a 1 on 3 hits and 1 left. An adventurous first inning sees the Wildcats up 1-0 as we go to the second here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. One nothing Bethune-Cookman as we go to the second. Tanner Bocabello took a 1-2-3 inning through the first, and now will face Edwin Lemus Hudson Jr. And the first pitch is a fastball strike. Hudson Jr. batting .294. Was batting over 300 coming into the weekend. It has slipped a little bit. Big cut and miss on a up and in fastball. And it's 0-2. 14 runs on 20 hits, 4 doubles, a triple, and 14 RBIs. 14 strikeouts, 11 walks for Lemus. Off the inside of the bat, little squibbler to the first base side. Covering first is Bocabello for the out. Excellent play by the Wildcats.
Running so fast over there to first, his hat fell off, but covers the bag in perfect time and makes the play. You can tell that in his last outings, he seemed a little bit more in his head and rigid up there on the mound. Today, he looks very free, very confident. Obviously helps with that first inning, 1-2-3, how it went, but even when he stepped on the mound from the beginning, he just looked so in his rhythm.
First pitch, strike at the knees to Tyshawn Patty, who bats .213. 16 runs on 17 hits, 6 doubles, 2 homers, 17 batted in. And that one just low. You're right, and as also his pitching cadence is really fast, which tells me that he's feeling good.
Yeah.
Of course, coming off an outing last Sunday with 9 strikeouts against Alcorn State. In the air to right center field. Long run for Sergio. He tracks back over his head. Makes the catch on the move, out number 2. Well tracked off the bat by Sergio Rivera, even against the gray skies and threat of rain here on Sunday afternoon.
He always makes it look so easy. That one just over his shoulder. Maybe a little bit of flair and dramatics, letting it drop, but still makes the grab.
Now here's Wilbert Perez, the first baseman. Perez playing only his 10th game back after starting the season on the IL. Ground ball towards third, fielded deep in the hole by Andre Martinez across the diamond. On a hop, and a nice pick over there by Rodriguez. And 1, 2, 3 again go the Tigers. We go to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Cats here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. Bottom second here at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. 1-0 Bethune-Cookman over Jackson State in the rubber match of this 3-game series. Jose Fernandez leads off.
For the Wildcats, the designated hitter, number 44, Jose
And as
Fernandez.
solid, Jade, as that first inning was for the Wildcats, a run on 3 hits, highlighted by the inside the park home run. I'd like to see the Wildcats work the count a little bit because Lopez only used 16 pitches in that first inning. The 1-0. Ground ball, high chopper towards second. Charging is Tate, and the throw in time. And they did exactly the opposite of what I said, which is to try and work the count. Second pitch swinging Jose Fernandez, 1 away.
There's definitely a balance in that, and these hitters have the green light to swing away at the pitches they see that they feel like they can hit, and it's just being patient about finding that. Like you said, you want them to get that perfect pitch at the at-bat and not just swing at junk, but they definitely have that green light to swing away.
Here's Michael Rodriguez, who was excellent at the plate last night in the 13-2 win. First pitch lefty on lefty from Lopez is a ball low and in. Michael Rodriguez was one of 7 Wildcats with an RBI last night, but he went 2 for 3, a triple, and 3 RBI. .1-0 from Lopez. In on the hand, slow roller to second. Boynes makes the play, 2 outs. And this is how you get in trouble. You allow these pitchers to cruise, to stay in games. And all of a sudden you look up, it's the 7th inning, and you haven't done what coach wants, which is to get to the bullpen.
Yep.
Lopez, in 3 of his last 4 appearances, has thrown over 100 pitches. 106 against UNC Asheville, 110 against Seattle, and 105 against Prairie View. We don't have pitch data for the game at Texas Southern. 1-1 as that one is a strike at the knees to Jorge Rodriguez. Rodriguez batting .241. 15 runs on 19 hits, 7 doubles, and 16 batted in. Up and out, 2-1. So Lopez is a guy that on Sundays, when the bullpen could be a little bit depleted after a long series, especially after last night when the Wildcats scored 13 runs. 2-1 in the zone, and it's 2-2. Getting length out of your starter is very important. But it's the Wildcats' job to try and force head coach Omar Johnson for Jackson State into those difficult decisions. 2-2. Sat on the breaking ball and skies it foul into the river. Jorge Rodriguez been cold to start this season, but this series has been pretty good. Was 2 for 4 on Friday and 1 for 3 last night, and has scored 3 runs in the series. Swing and a miss, fastball low and in. And that's the end of the inning. 1-2-3 go Bethune-Cookman. We go to the third. 1-0 Wildcats over Jackson State here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. We swiftly move to the third here in Daytona Beach on Sunday afternoon. The catcher, Hendrik Torres, leads off for Jackson State. Bethune-Cookman up 1-0. Two clean innings for Tanner Bocabello on the mound so far. 1 strikeout. High chopper foul outside of third, 0-1. It'll be the bottom 3 of the order: Torres, McClenty, and Boynes for the Tigers in this half inning. Hendrik Torres batting .271, 16 runs on 19 hits, 5 doubles and 13 batted in. Tips one foul back to the screen as he was ahead of the change. 0-2. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball in the dirt. The ball's on the ground. Lucena fires to first to complete the K. 1 down. Second strikeout of the day for Bocabello.
Now I'll just repeat what I said in that second inning or in the first inning, was how confident he seems. Just very at ease with how he's going throughout his business on the mound and his approach to each batter. He's working quickly, like you mentioned, which means he's just in that flow state of one after the other, one pitch after the next.
First pitch, fastball strike down Broadway to Isaac McClenty. This Jackson State team has a propensity to strike out. 210 Ks on the year before this game, which is fifth to the bottom in the conference, fouled away by McClenty, 0-2. The only 4 teams behind them are the bottom 4 teams in the standings: Prairie View, Valley, Alabama A&M, and Alcorn State are the only teams that have struck out more than Jackson State. Meanwhile, Bethune-Cookman has struck out the most batters on the pitching side of the conference, 247. Oh, 2. Swing and a tipper foul into the chest protector of Michael Lucena, and he just couldn't glove it. That would have been strikeout number 2, but we'll do the 0-2 again to McClenty. On Friday night, McClenty didn't start. Came in as a defensive replacement late. 0-2. Ground ball towards short. Fielding is Almonte. 2 steps, a throw. It's a little bit low, but Rodriguez corrals it for out number 2.
You want the defense to make those routine plays right behind you. Something that the Wildcats have struggled with this season, but have cleaned it up as time has gone on. And those are one of the simple plays that you need your defense to make, and they do.
Here's Peyton Boynes on Friday night, was 1 for 5. And overall batting .307. Line drive down the left field line, tailing foul. Well hit by Boynes. And thankfully, all that Darrell Lee has to do is pick that one up off the ground and throw it back to the dugout. That was an inside fastball that Boynes just ripped to left field, but it was a little bit out in front. 17 runs on 23 hits for Boynes. 7 doubles, 2 homers, 15 RBI. Little tapper back up the middle. That's going to be a tough play for Almonte, and he makes it beautifully. Moving to his left, behind the bag, the gather and the throw in one motion for the out. The Wildcats are perfect through the first 9 in the Jackson State order. We go to the bottom of the inning. Wildcats looking for some insurance runs here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. Nine-hole hitter Sergio Rivera leads things off for Bethune-Cookman here in the bottom of the third. 1-0 lead for the Cats on Eric Almonte's inside the park leadoff home run back in the first. The Wildcats went down 1-2-3 in the second. Jaden Lopez still on the hill for Jackson State. Fires a fastball strike low at the knees. This is the last we'll see of Bethune-Cookman baseball here at the Jack for quite a while. As a long hold for the 0-1 is bunted down the first base side by Rivera. Lopez off the mound, 1 away.
Yeah, this is the last time we'll be here because the Tortugas opening day is on Thursday. So Wildcats have front half of their season, the bulk of it is here and in person at home at Jackie Robinson Ballpark, and then they'll go on the road for a little bit of a stretch because the Tortugas will start things up and they'll be intermixed here and there.
A 9-game road trip coming up for the Wildcats, starting Tuesday at South Florida. Then 3 in Baton Rouge against Southern. They'll stay in Baton Rouge to play a midweeker against LSU. Then they'll head over to Mississippi. First pitch swing and a foul back for Eric Almonte to play a 3-game set against Mississippi Valley State. And they'll round it off on April 14th against UF in Gainesville. Then they'll be back here at the Jack on April 17th for a 3-game series against Alabama A&M. So almost a month on the road for these Wildcats coming up. In the air, center field, hanging up in the air for McClenty to gather in. 2 outs.
That's why it's so important to just build your team and have that foundation very steady before you go on these long road trips, because that really is going to, you know, it solidifies your team, but it can also just either make you guys love each other more or make you need some time apart. I remember as an athlete, you have long road trips, and depending on how they went, it really dictated the vibe around the team, and you never want to go into road trips, drop games, and let it affect you guys outside of it.
Big swing and a miss by Darrell Lee. Breaking ball dove down into the dirt. And they're not coming home either between the Southern trip and the Mississippi Valley trip. They're staying in Baton Rouge to play LSU on that Tuesday, April 7th. Big slider out way. 1-1. Lee, his first time up, reached on a bunt single and was caught stealing. The 1-1 pitch from Lopez. Way up and out on the fastball, 2-1. The Wildcats really haven't worked much of these counts today. They've mostly just been swinging at the first or second pitch, putting the ball in play. Two-one. Low. Oh, called a strike. My goodness. Now 2-2. That looked like it was almost at the dirt. So now Lee has to stand in on a 2-2 count. Catcher sets up outside, lefty to lefty. The breaking ball does not catch the zone. That's a tough take here, Darrell Lee. Now it's 3-2. This is the first time we've really seen a Wildcat hitter work the count. 3-2. Ball 4. Same exact pitch. Missed the zone low. That big sweeper. And the Wildcats have their first base runner since that opening inning.
Now batting for the Wildcats,
and if anybody's going to be the one to work the count, it's going to be Darrell Lee.
Martinez.
Tries to get on base as much as possible. He's one of the few Wildcats that his on-base percentage is stellar this season.
Darrell Lee has the most walks on the team. That's his 22nd of the season. Now it's Andre Martinez. First pitch called strike at the knees on the outside corner. Andre Martinez, on the other hand, does not walk very much, just 12 on the year. Oh, 1. Line drive, what a snag at third by Patty across the diamond to end the inning. A terrific defensive play at the hot corner, and Jackson State gets out of it. Nothing on no hits and 1 left. And we go to the 4th, still 1-0 Bethune-Cookman here on the CatEye Network and SWAC TV. Fourth inning on deck here at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. Bethune-Cookman 1, Jackson State 0. Both teams looking for the series win here on Sunday afternoon. After Jackson State won on Friday, Bethune-Cookman responded last night. 9 up, 9 down in the first 3 innings for Jackson State, and Tanner Bocabello will once again face Robert Tate Jr., who bounced out right back to him his first time up. First pitch, ahead of the breaking ball, tap back foul. And it's 0-1. In the air, right field, Michael Rodriguez going back on it, backpedaling, and makes the catch for the first out. First action out there for Mikey Rodriguez.
And just like the Wildcats, JSU has not really been working counts either. They've really just been swinging at anything they can find from Boca in the zone. He's made them miss as well.
2 Ks for Boca so far, and a lot of ground balls.
And it seems a little bit impatient from both sides, but not to their detriment.
That one in the air down the left field line. Lee tracking back toward the wall. He can't make the play, and it bounces to the wall. That's the first hit of the day for Jackson State. It's a double for Tyree Reed as that one bounces off the glove of Darrell Lee. And this is the danger when you jump on top and do not apply more pressure.
That ball was laced into left field. It was curling foul, but Lee just didn't have the right jump to be able to get behind it and make the play. But yeah, like you mentioned, now how do they respond now with a runner in scoring position the first time in this game?
And Jackson State responds by bringing him in. A line drive to left field by Pierre Cabral, and it's 1-1. All the way to second, sliding in safely to replace Tyree Reed is Cabral, and just like that, Jackson State right back in the game. Very similar to what happened on Friday night, right? The Wildcats jumped out on top, and then Jackson State immediately erased it. Almost carbon copy doubles to left field back-to-back on 2 consecutive pitches for Jackson State. Now it's Edwin Hudson Jr. who grounded out to second base his first time up. Judged to have gone around on that inside fastball. 0-1. Even though they only scored 2 runs last night, Jackson State did have 8 hits. Up and in, ball 1. Tanner, a graduate student now, was the Friday night ace last year for this Wildcat squad. Missed the last half of the season via an arm injury. Ground ball, third base side foul. 1-2. Sustained in the series against Arkansas Pine Bluff after he got hit with a ball off the bat on his non-throwing arm. Kept him out for the rest of the year. One-two. Misses with the breaking ball, 2-2. Moved to the Sunday spot because Coach Hernandez didn't want to put all the pressure of being the Friday night guy on him after he came back from that injury. The 2-2, swinging a tip foul back. Count holds, and because the Wildcats added so much depth in the offseason, talk about guys like Harvey Abreu, and even now Michael Benedict, who may have to step into a weekend role. We do not know the extent of the injury to Edwin Sanchez that only allowed him to pitch 1 inning last night. 2-2. Low 3-2. Bocabello trying to get out number 2 in this inning. Little looper behind second base, dropping quickly and in there. Stopping at third after the throw in is Pierre Cabral. 3 straight hits for Jackson State. They've got the go-ahead run 90 feet away with 1 out.
And Jackson State just continuing how they were pretty much this whole season and this Friday first game. Passing the bat back, getting hits, just continuing to get runners on and putting the pressure back on BCU. This whole series has been a balancing act of who's got the momentum and the power in each game, and Jackson State's applying pressure.
Squaring to bunt is Tyshawn Patty. Flew out to center his first time up. Pulls it back, ball 1 low and in.
And they've done it in multiple ways. They get the small ball hits, the dinkers dropping right there like you saw in center field.
Throw back to third. That's a close play. It's out at third. The tag applied by Martinez.
And the Wildcats just do the right things. Lucena just heads up baseball, sees the runner slightly down the line and pulls the trigger, sends it over to Martinez, who's going to apply that pressure right to the runner. Gets it out, and there's that momentum shift taken back a little bit by the Wildcats.
Now 2 outs and only a runner on first. A much better proposition if you're the Wildcats, unless that one is dinked into center field for another hit for Tyshawn Patty. 4 straight hits for Jackson State. Now first and second with 2 down as Hudson moves across to second. And here is Wilbert Perez. Second time through the order, Jackson State's seen Bocabella, and now they're attacking him. Off the inside of the bat, rolled to the first base sign, foul off the bat of Perez, who grounded out to third his first time up. Well, even in the games where Boca has been solid, he's given up hits because he's a pitch-to-contact type guy with not huge strikeout numbers. Sliders strike, 0-2. In the game against Delaware State, he gave up 8 hits. Gave up 5 hits, no runs against Yale. 6 hits, just 3 runs against Alcorn State. As the wind picks up, blowing in from right field. 0-2. Curveball, chop foul into the dugout. And a count holds 0-2. That's that curve that he's gotten both of his strikeouts with so far. First and second, 2 outs, 1 already in the inning. Wildcats try to keep this thing tied at 1. Boca deals. Fastball up and in, swing, and a miss, strike 3. Third strikeout for Bocabello. He works out of it, but 4 hits for Jackson State. 1 comes across, and we're tied at 1 going to the bottom of the 4th here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. Jackson State comes back to tie this game at 1, going to the bottom of the 4th. Wildcats are going to try and put some offensive pressure on Jaden Lopez, who despite giving up an inside the park home run on the first pitch that Eric Almonte saw back in the first inning, has really calmed things down, has only allowed 2 base runners since then. Lopez, the lefty. Big swing and a miss by Jeter Poyeto at the breaking ball. And it's 0-1. Poyeto lined a 2-out double to left center field back in the first. Ended up being stranded there by Michael Lucena, ground out. He grounds one softly to short, fielded with his heels on the grass by Patty. 1 down. More weak contact induced by Jaden Lopez, and the Wildcats cannot seem to figure him out.
And he's doing his job, right? We saw in the first inning, it got a little bit dicey, but as he got that command under control extremely quickly and has really just gotten the Wildcats out on very easy outs.
Here is Lucena. I mentioned grounded out to short his first time up. First pitch, called strike. Nice frame by Torres. Slider outside corner. Lopez reaches way behind him on his windup and just kind of windmills his arm forward. That time he misses on the curve. 1-1. The 1-1 is low, fastball. 2-1. Jackson State will head back. Well, no, will also play on the road next week. So they're in the middle of a 2-week road trip as well. High bouncer, foul of third. Nice grab by Coach Hernandez in the third base coaching box. He's a magnet this season.
He is. He has been a magnet for so many foul balls. Some have made contact with him. Others he has jumped out of the way of. Gracefully, of course, every time.
Yep. So they'll go on the road to Grambling State next weekend, Jackson State. 2-2. Bounce to the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Lucena. Then they'll get their probably the 2 most important series of the season that are not named this one. Back-to-back at home. They host Florida A&M and then Alabama State, April 10th and April 17th. Full count to Lucena, 1 out, bottom 4 in a 1-1 contest. Lopez rocks and fires. Swing and a miss. Third strikeout for Jaden Lopez on a diver that went down and in. He really likes using that sweeper as his finishing pitch.
It's effective too. He keeps going back to it, and it's either strikeouts or weak contact.
Here's Jose Fernandez, who had one of those weak contact, a slow ground ball to short his first time up. Slider backdoor for a strike on the outside corner. And over the years, as that one's grounded to third off the glove of Patty and down the left field line. Fernandez digging for second as that ball rattles around in the corner. Cabral still looking for it. Fernandez thought about third base, but he will hold up at second.
I love how excited Jose gets when he's running around the bases. He just wants to do as much as he can with each and every at-bat, and he rounded second, ready to book it to third, and made the right choice of staying there. But what a hit for his team. 2-out rally again, once again, for these Wildcats, who doesn't matter the count or the score, how many outs are on the board, they're going to try to do as much as they can. The catcher down for Jackson State.
Yeah, called a double to left field, even though it did hit off the glove of Patty. Would have been a tough play down there by the line.
Patty's been stellar. That ball was just rocketed right at him, and sometimes it just slips through.
Yeah, and we do have an injury to Hendrik Torres, the catcher for Jackson State. Didn't see what happened there. And he is being attended to by the athletic trainers. Don't miss Hail Wildcats Radio, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of all 15 Wildcat sports programs, hosted by voice of the Wildcats, Michael Cirillo, and featuring the expertise of Bethune-Cookman sports information staff. Hail Wildcats Radio delivers unparalleled coverage of your favorite teams. Tune in to 1380 WELE Daytona Beach every Saturday to catch the show live or listen anytime on your favorite podcast platform. New episode out now, released yesterday of Hail Wildcats Radio. Check us out. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Anchor, all of the above.
I feel like it was decades ago that we recorded that episode on Wednesday. Does it not feel that way to you?
It does. Well, a lot's happened.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody that is in season has been in action this weekend.
Yes.
We gave the tennis team some praise yesterday. They picked up their first conference win over Mississippi Valley State. We'll have full tennis recap from the SWAC Pod #2 on next week's episode, as well as track and field's trip to Miami. Baseball and softball both at home this weekend. Golf is up in Georgia this weekend. Did I miss anybody? I think that's everybody.
I think so.
Important meet for golf. Last one before SWAC conference play. As Hendrik Torres continues to be looked at by the athletic trainer. He's got all 3 umpires and head coach Omar Johnson around him. Omar Johnson, who became recently the 2nd winningest coach in JSU baseball history. He trails only Robert Brady by about 200 or so wins. Brady, of course, the namesake of Jackson State's home field on campus, Bob Brady Field. Looks like Hendrik Torres is going to muscle things out and stay in the game here. So now Mikey Rodriguez, after a really long wait, will stand into the batter's box with Jose Fernandez on second. And 2 outs here in the 4th. Wildcats looking to retake the lead, currently 1-1.
Now batting the right fielder, number 5, Michael
Rodriguez softly grounded out to second base. His first. Time up. First pitch from the lefty, Lopez, is low and in, ball 1. Both pitchers have faced 15 batters. Both pitchers exactly at 48 pitches right now, plus these for Lopez to the end of the 4th inning. So both pitchers very efficient so far. Sweeper strike to Rodriguez. There's a danger of throwing those slow sweepers. If the Wildcats can time it up and he wastes one over the middle, that ball could be going a long way in the other direction. Pitch to Rodriguez. Check swing, ball in the dirt. 2-1. The defense playing Rodriguez very pull heavy, as the biggest gap on the infield is to the third base side between short and third. He's going to have to hit one pretty hard to get through the infield on the first base side. Low 3-1 to Michael Rodriguez. Rodriguez, no stranger to a big hit, had the walk-off a couple weeks ago against Florida Gulf Coast in that memorable 9-8 contest. 3-1. Well down and away on the sweeper, ball 4. And there's 2 on with 2 out. Second walk issued by Lopez. Now here's Jorge Rodriguez.
Now batting the first baseman, number 33, Jorge Rodriguez.
Rodriguez had a run on a hit and an RBI last night and was 2 for 4 in Friday night's contest. Swing and a miss ahead of that diving breaking ball for strike 1 for Rodriguez. Tie game at 1. Bottom 4, 2 outs, first and second for Bethune-Cookman. Fernandez on second, Rodriguez on first after a double and a walk. Lopez from the stretch. Almost hit Jorge Rodriguez as he jumps back out of the way, 1-1. I come back to Lopez's throwing motion. He almost seems to whirl his arm around in a figure-8 pattern behind his back before he throws the ball. Swing and a miss on a diving breaking ball, and it's 1-2.
Definitely has to make the hitters pause and just wait for that release point. See the ball the whole way when it comes out of his hands.
Would not be surprised if he goes back to the sweeper here. It's been his most effective pitch. 1-2 to Georgie. Rodriguez got hit on the inside of the thigh by the fastball down and in, and the bases are loaded. Fernandez up to third, Rodriguez up to second, and Jorge Rodriguez now at first.
And frustrating for Lopez there just because of how much in control he has been of this game and his pitches so far. Wheels just a little bit falling off here in the fourth. Wildcats, you know they're going to capitalize it. Working that count now to make sure they're drawing a pitch.
Now Sergio Rivera will try and give the Wildcats back the lead. Slider strike in the zone just under the letters. Rivera been cold as of late. Went 1 for 3 last night. Then 3 games without a hit dating back to the middle game against Alcorn State. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Ahead of the slider. And for the second time in this inning, Jackson State 1 strike away from stranding the bases loaded. Working quickly, here's the pitch from Lopez. Strike 3 called. Big curveball caught the top part of the zone, and the Wildcats strand 3. No runs, 1 hit, bases left loaded. We go to the 5th, 1-1 between Jackson State and Bethune-Cookman on the CatEye Network and SWAC TV. We go to the 5th inning, still tied at 1. Here on Sunday afternoon from Daytona Beach. Gray, overcast, very windy, wind blowing in off the water from right field. And Jackson State, you feel with all the momentum right now after tying the game in the 4th, as the first pitch is tipped foul right at home plate by Hendrik Torres. And then getting out of a bases-loaded jam in the bottom of the 4th. Some more issues for Torres. Remember, he was down for a fair bit of time in the bottom of the 4th after the Jose Fernandez double. And now he fouls the ball off of the inside part of his foot, has to hop around and shake his leg out and then get back in the box.
For players, there's a balance of playing and being tough and grinding injuries out and little bruises and things here and there. And then there's a difference of whether you're going to be detriment or helpful to your team, and he doesn't want to get into that detriment line.
No call on a tight pitch inside, 1-1. Both teams are run on 4 hits in this contest. There's a slider strike, 1-2. Jackson State got all 4 of those hits back to back to back to back in the 4th, and only didn't take the lead because of a pickoff at third base. Barely got a piece of the curveball, did Hendrik Torres, fouls it away. 1-2. Bocabello now in his third season with the maroon and gold. Ooh, another tight one misses inside, and it's 2-2. Fans behind the plate not happy about that one. Boca deals again and spikes it. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Has not really found the form that he showed in 2024 or the early part of 2025, Bocabello. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Took the changeup up and in and got the swing from Torres. 4th strikeout of the day for Boca. 1 down in the inning, and here's Isaac McClency. 2024, Tanner Bocabello was spectacular. 8-3 with a 2.93 ERA and almost 100 innings pitched. First pitch to McClency, squares to bunt, right back to in front of the mound. Bocabello has to throw it quick and throws it into right field. McClency stops at second, and there's the first error of the game. We knew it was coming at some point. That was perfectly in between Lucena and Bocabello. Bocabello fielded it, tried to throw it very quick, and just threw it away. And now McClency, the go-ahead run, stands on second. They call that bunt, single, and an error. First pitch, a foul back by Peyton Boynes. Grounded out to short, his first time up. And the pitch, breaking ball, high pop, in on the infield. Everybody converges. Jorge Rodriguez takes the catch for out number 2. Those are those dangerous pop-ups in the middle of everybody. Needs good communication, and you got to trust whoever calls you off that they have actually got a beat on the ball.
Yeah, you absolutely have to trust the people, your infield that's around you, and that the voice that calls it off. And for Tanner to get that out after the error and then advance to second play, that's a big out for the Wildcats.
Here's Robert Tate Jr., first pitch strike. Tate 0 for 2. Ground out back to the pitcher, a fly out to right. And a slider strike catches the outside corner, and it's 0-2. Tanner Bocabello approaching 60 pitches in this outing. Tate stays alive, throws the bat at it, and fouls it down the first base line into the bullpen. Has gone over 100 pitches once this season, Boca. That was in his last start last Sunday against Alcorn State. Well, last Saturday, rather, against Alcorn State. There were 104 pitches in 6 full innings. Once again, the 0-2 to Tate. Swing and a miss. It's again that up and in changeup that Jackson State seemingly has no answer for. 5 strikeouts for Bocabello, and we go to the bottom of the 5th. Nothing on a hit, an error, and 1 left. Still tied at 1 here on the CatEye Network and SWAC TV.
out for the Wildcats, Eric Almonte, shortstop.
Eric Almonte leads off for the Wildcats. We go back to the top of the order here in the bottom of the fifth. Still 1-1 here at Jackie Robinson Ballpark on a series-splitting Sunday. Both teams looking to take this one. First pitch called strike at the knees against Almonte. Almonte has the only run for the Wildcats, is inside the park home run back in the first inning. He's also flied out to center. As the Wildcats start their third time through the order against the New Orleans transfer Jaden Lopez, who has looked very, very solid ever since then, has only allowed 2 hits and worked out of a bases-loaded jam in the fourth inning. The lefty from Orlando deals. Low, 1-2. Was a Cypress Creek High School graduate, Jaden Lopez. Started his college career at a junior college level at East Georgia State. The 1-2 to Almonte. Eric watches strike 3 right down the middle. Didn't even offer at it.
We saw it with Andre Martinez too, just keeping the bat on their shoulder instead of being aggressive and knowing when you have 2 strikes, you can't just keep the bat on your shoulder. You have to swing, you have to be aggressive, and anything that's around the zone, at least swing at to keep yourself in there.
Then Lopez spent the last 2 years at the University of New Orleans for the Privateers. First pitch fastball strike at the corner to Darrell Lee. Lee, a bunt single in the first, was caught stealing and then walked in the third. Did not play due to an injury in 2024, Lopez. Here's the 0-1. And played sparingly in 2025. Just an inning and a third. Gave up 1 hit, 2 runs. One. Slider just high at the letters. 2 balls and 1 strike. Lopez struggled his second to last time out against Texas Southern. Low and inside, called a strike 2. I don't understand some of these strike calls. And I am usually not one to criticize officiating, but some of these are inconceivable. Now a 2-2 count on Lee's got to protect. He puts the ball behind the plate foul by tapping it. And he stays alive at 2-2. Texas Southern, of course, has the best offense in the SWAC, but they ate him up for 8 runs on 8 hits and 5 1/3. But today he has mowed down Wildcats and scattered just 4 BCU hits, the 2-2 to Lee. Breaking ball, Lee stays with it and fouls it away out of the concourse third base side. And 2-2 again. And just like we said on Friday night, the Wildcats are having a tough time making solid contact. And a lot of this is just rolled over or popped up. That one fastball low, and it must be hard to take anything if you're the Wildcats with the strike zone being as inconsistent as it has been today. 3 balls, 2 strikes now. Lopez did give 2 free passes away in the last inning, a walk and a hit by pitch. And the 3-2. Lee protects and fouls it back. And Lopez has consistently gone to that sweeper to try and get this 3rd strike. And it has fooled Wildcat hitters all day long. Once again, the 3-2. Up and out, ball 4. Lee, a really nice AB, works a 1-out walk.
Second walk of the day for D. Lee. Again, just works the count this time as well. It makes Jaden pitch to him. You can see Jaden a little bit rattled by these last few batters for the, well, really just the last inning for the Wildcats, where they've given him some trouble, but he's got himself out of it, so he gets himself into jams. He's just continued to get his team back up to the plate unscathed.
Here's Andre Martinez, 0 for 2. Lee ushered back to first by a throw-over. Martinez struck out looking in the first and lined out to third on a really terrific play by Trayshawn Patty. First pitch to Martinez. In the air, left field and deep. That ball is headed to the moon! Adios, amigos! Home run number 2 on the year for Andre Martinez. That one went over the batting cages. Wow! Again. That is the danger of throwing that sweeper too much. Because if you miss it, it can go the other way in a hurry.
If it hangs just a little bit, that ball is driven into the outfield. And as soon as that one came off the bat, you knew it was gone for Martinez. Just got the absolute perfect timing and swing to it, drilled it. That's the power that we've been missing from this BCU lineup, and Martinez delivers.
3-1 Bethune-Cookman, just like that. First pitch, strike on the outside corner to Jeter Poyeto. Surprisingly, only the second home run for Andre Martinez this season. But that one was absolutely crushed. I was watching the left fielder, Pierre Cabral, and he didn't even give it a courtesy jog or a reach up or nothing. No. He just knew off the bat that that one was way out of here. Changeup up and in, smacked foul. A ball and 2 strikes on Poyeto. That may be one of the longest home runs I've ever seen hit out of this park. College, pro, high school, doesn't matter. He did get helped a little bit by the fact that the wind is blowing out towards left.
Oh, Mike, he smoked that ball.
I don't think the wind could have been coming in from left at 30 miles an hour, and that ball still would have gotten out. 1-2. In the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Poyeto, 1 for 2, a double of the first, ground out to short in the 4th. As the Wildcats have hopped back on top 3-1 here in the 5th. Check swing, he could not hold up, and Poyeto down on strikes. 2 away in the 5th. Strikeout number 6 for Jaden Lopez.
Now batting the catcher, Michael Lucena.
If you notice a different voice on the PA this half inning, that's Nicky Rawls, baseball alum, who threw out the first pitch today. Kind of celebrating him all throughout this contest here at the Jack. He's getting a half inning on the mic. He got to be up there for that Andre Martinez moonshot. Rawls played at Bethune-Cookman all the way back in the 1960s, back when the program was at Division II level and playing in the SIAC. 2 balls, no strikes on Michael Lucena, who's 0 for 2, a ground out to short and a strikeout. Lopez low, 3 balls, no strikes. And as fun as that home run was, Jade, the way the Wildcats are going to win this game is by putting together long innings.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to chase Lopez from this game by chaining singles together. 3-0. Called a strike at the knees on the inside corner. 3-1.
It's not even like Lopez is really pitching bad. He's left a couple over the zone, and the Wildcats obviously going to take advantage of that. But again, to keep this game at 3-0 when they could have been a lot more explosive of a game.
Lucena wore that one right on the meaty part of the chest, right under the rib cage. And he is down in a heap behind the plate. As someone who's taken my fair share of hit by pitches in my life, that is one of the places you do not want to get hit, especially with a fastball. That was motored to the plate by Lopez. And we hope Lucena is okay, as he will eventually be given first base. That's the second hit batter of the game for Lopez. And I said at the start of the game, he has a propensity to hit by pitches. He's got 4 now on the season. He got Rodriguez on the meaty part of the thigh back in the fourth. Lucena will eventually shake it off and try and jog it out down there to first.
Coming to the plate, the designated hitter, number 44, Jose Fernandez.
Here's Jose Fernandez, who smacked a double down the left field line his last time up. Other than that, is grounded out too short. First pitch to him, swing and a miss through the curveball. And it's 0-1. Let's talk about BCU tennis, because they were magnificent yesterday against Mississippi Valley State. 5 of the 6 Wildcat tennis players took a clean sweep, and both doubles pairs took a clean sweep in their victory. Highlighted by the 6-0-6-0s of Jalea Shaw, Zahara El-Zain, and Rosalita Asamuma. Fernandez behind 0-1, had a quick meeting with hitting coach Derek Cartaya behind the plate. Lopez checks the runner and fires home, and in on the hands, fouled away onto the roof, and it's 0-2. 1 on, 2 outs, 2 already in the inning on the 2-run home run moonshot by Andre Martinez. Oh, 2. In the air to left field, well hit down the line. If it stays fair, it's gone, but it will go foul. Jose Fernandez trying to get in on the act with a big fly. Just couldn't keep that one straightened out. Light stretching going on in the BCU bullpen. Nobody throwing yet. Same thing for Jackson State. As we are about to hit the 6th after this last out. That one upstairs at 1-2 on Fernandez. Fernandez trying to keep this half inning going for the Wildcats, an inning in which they've taken the lead. Runner goes, ball in the dirt, and no throw down there as a stolen base from Lucena puts him into scoring position. After getting hit with a pitch like that, you get the green light from your third base coach, and you're over there in pain going, why?
I feel like he's an Energizer bunny, though. He wants to keep moving. Can't sit still.
2-2 now on Fernandez. Lopez trying to get out of the inning. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no. Called strike 3, up and in. That was almost by his shirt. 2 runs, 1 hit, 2 left. And 1 left, excuse me. And we go to the 6th inning. Wildcats up 3-1 here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. Tyree Reed leads off the top of the 6th inning for Jackson State. The Wildcats on a 2-run home run by Andre Martinez take a 3-1 lead here on Sunday. First pitch swing and a miss. And a fastball down and in by Tanner Bocabello. That was Tanner's pitch number 63. Down and away, ball 1. So Bocabello threw 104 pitches last Saturday. That one misses away. In 6 innings, he's through 5 on 62 here this afternoon. A very efficient outing. Just that little blip in the 4th where he gave up the run. That one outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Coach Hernandez with his hands outstretched, imploring the umpire to get a call. 3-1. Reed fouls it away, 3-2. We have been treated to a bit of a pitching masterclass today. The one mistake by Bocabello, and then the one mistake by the right fielder, swinging just getting a piece of it is Reed. Fouls it straight back. Count holds 3-2. But 7 strikeouts for Lopez, 5 for Boca. And some great defense on both sides. The 3-2 pitch. High rocket into left field. Rivera, a long run, back to the track, to the wall. He reaches up. Oh, he made the catch! Leaping into the wall. Sergio Rivera, the catch of the year. Tyree Reed turns and tips his helmet to him as he walks back to the dugout. Oh, my.
Highlight reel play there by Sergio Rivera, who made the entire run from center field all the way deep into left, called off Darrell Lee, tracked the ball the entire way through, and gave the wall a hug as he grabbed that one out of the air.
Holy cow. As that wind, as I mentioned, is blowing right to left across the outfield. First pitch inside, ball 1 to Pierre Cabral. And you'd almost expect Darrell Lee to have a better angle on that one, but Sergio Rivera, full sprint from his starting position in center field, all the way over there, heads up bullpen as that ball is rocketed right at him for strike 1. And then full stretch above his head and crashes into the wall for good measure. And I'll tell you what, if that hits the wall, that one ground ball, base hit out through the third base hole. That might have been an inside the park home run the other way.
Yeah.
Because Tyree Reed was almost on his way to third. That ball hung up in the air so long.
Yeah. And Lee was right next to him, so there really wasn't any backup of who was covering the play. Ball could have gone anywhere.
Edwin Lamus Hudson Jr. bats now. Ground ball, and it's past third again. This is exactly what happened in the 4th inning when Jackson State got their run. They just single, single, single. 4 straight hits. And it was the same part of the order, too. Reed, Cabral, Hudson, and Patty were the 4 that got the hits in the 4th. And we will have some movement going on in that Wildcat bullpen. No change yet as Coach Hernandez slow walks out to the mound. I haven't seen anybody warming up now. I believe that's Barroso gets going. It is Justin Morales, gets going. As now there's 2 on, 1 out, but the Wildcats a 2-run lead, 3-1. And now that catch by Sergio Rivera looms even larger now, because this game might be tied if he doesn't make that catch. Bocabello at 73 pitches. He will remain in the game and try and work out of this mess. Tyshawn Patty will be the next batter to face him. Batters not named Reed, Cabral, Hudson, or Patty are 0 for 11 in this game. It's just been this heart of the order that's done the damage for Jackson State. First pitch, fastball low and away in the dirt, ball 1. Patty flew out to center his first time up, then singled to center field. Strike at the knees, 1-1. Pierre Cabral on second. Edwin Lamus Hudson Jr. on first after back-to-back singles. That one's lined to left. Lee can't make the play. Sprinting home from second and sliding in safely is Cabral, and it's a 3-2 ball game. 3 straight hits, and it's the same guys that did it last time, Cabral, Hudson, and Patty.
And hits to the same place, right out there in left field. Right through the gap of short and third.
And all 3 hits to left by right-handed batters means that they are really timing up Bocabello well here. 3 straight singles, and it's 3-2. And another meeting for the Wildcats, this time players only. Nike is the official outfitter of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. You can gear up on the newest BCU Nike gear at nike.com/Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Make sure you are representing Bethune-Cookman University Athletics to the fullest, featuring all new items. Buy the latest BCU gear online at the Bethune-Cookman online store. Go to bcuathletics.com and click on shop to find the newest BCU clothing and apparel. That's bcuathletics.com and click on shop. Boca is done. We'll take a break, and when we come back, it'll be Justin Morales to try and slow down this Jackson State rally. You're listening to Bethune-Cookman University Baseball on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. It'll be the one of 3 Aruban pitchers on this team. Justin Morales, the junior out of Arenestad, Aruba, to toe the mound for the Wildcats to try and get out of the jam here in the 6th. Wildcats lead 3-2. 3 straight singles have made it a 3-2 game. It was 3-1. Wilbert Perez will be the first man to face Justin Morales, making his 9th appearance of the season. Morales, 11 1/3 innings. Hudson on second. Patty on first after his RBI single. First pitch, swing and a miss on the curveball. He's allowed 6 runs on 7 hits, Morales, just 2 earned. Striking out 12 and walking 7. As the 0-1. Runner fakes going. It's another curveball that's swung on and missed by Perez. Still just one away in the inning here. He's allowed one double, no other extra base hits. Has thrown 4 wild pitches. His ERA is 1.59. Here's the 0-2. Yanked to the plate. There's another wild pitch, his 5th of the season, and that takes away the double play ball as the runners move to second and third with 1 out. We talked about it at the top of the show, that this is the most important game of the season for Bethune-Cookman. The 1-2 to Perez. Just misses inside with the fastball. Now 2-2. Morales goes back to the curve and gets the strikeout. 2 outs in the inning now, and here's Hendrik Torres, who's already struck out twice today.
Perez was just way out in front of that ball. Morales gets him with the off speed. This at-bat could be a turning point in this game, Mike.
100% agree. Tying run on third, go-ahead run on second. In the dirt, ball 1. Started with the curveball. Torres 0 for 2 on the day, 2 strikeouts. Both against Tanner Cabello. On the year batting .271. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball called strike, low and inside. .13 RBI on the year for Torres. A 14th would tie it, a 15th would give Jackson State the lead here in the top of the 6th. Morales misses down and in with the fastball. Tried to go the same spot that he got the last strike, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. That time he got the call. Another fastball low and in. 2-2. Does he go back to the fastball for the 4th straight pitch, or does he go back to the breaking stuff? We'll find out now. Here's the 2-2. Ground ball up the middle, and Jackson State's going to take the lead. Hudson scores, Patty scores, the ball gets away on a play at the plate. And going to second is Torres. He picks up 2 RBIs. And Jackson State takes the lead again. It's 4-3. This is almost exactly what happened on Friday night. He went back to the fastball again instead of trying for the breaking ball to get the strikeout. And down in a heap at the plate is Tyshawn Patty. There was a coming together between him and Lucena as the ball was thrown in.
And very similar to how things were shaken up on Friday. This one just chaos all around for the Wildcats as they were trying to get the ball in. Lucena and the runner just collide with each other, and Patty, but the ball had gone beyond Lucena to the backstop, so he tried to just get out of the play with Patty and get the ball, but just not the outing that you're really wanting from Justin Morales right now. And Wildcats were in firm control of this game, and then 1 hit, 2 hits can really change things up for this team, and they absolutely have here. Now can they respond when only really needing 1 out?
And you talked about Friday. Friday was the night of big innings, right?
Yep.
4 in the 5th, 2 in the 8th for Jackson State. Today, 1 in the 4th, now 3 in the 6th. First pitch low and away to Isaac McClenty. 1 for 2, reached on a bunt single in the 5th, grounded out in the 3rd. The 1-0. Fastball low and in, 2 balls, no strikes. We apologize about the camera. We will get that fixed for you as soon as possible. Right now, a runner on second, 2 outs, 4-3 Jackson State after a 3-run inning. That ball in the air to center field, but Sergio Rivera will snag it, and the Wildcats a lot of work to do. 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 left, and it is 4-3 Jackson State as we go to the bottom of the 6th here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. Bethune-Cookman once again playing from behind. Jackson State scores 3 runs in the top of the 6th to take a 4-3 lead here in this crucial 3rd game on Sunday afternoon. Starter Jaden Lopez still in there, 90 pitches so far through 5. Mikey Rodriguez 0 for 1 with a walk so far today will stand in to face him. First pitch, lefty on lefty. Ball to strike, slashing through the zone with that sweeper. A familiar name warming up for Jackson State, Jaden Edwards, who came in relief on Friday night. Rodriguez has to back up and out of the way of that one that almost caught him upside the head. Jaden Edwards actually picked up the win on Friday, as that time he hits Rodriguez. 1 on, nobody out for Bethune-Cookman. Here's Jorge Rodriguez. Struck out in the 2nd, was hit by a pitch in the 4th. That's now 3 hit by pitches today, thrown by Lopez. One on, nobody out. A check back to first base. Rodriguez dives back in. Michael Rodriguez, 7 steals on 8 attempts so far this season. Squaring to bunt is Jorge Rodriguez, puts it in play. Racing all the way to first himself is Lopez for out number 1. And that moves Mikey Rodriguez across to second.
Sack bunt does his job right now. Wildcats are in the business of just getting runners on, getting them over, and trying to get back in control of this game.
The very rare 1 unassisted put out. And now the potential tying run on second base. Here's Sergio Rivera, who has made the play of the game. That tremendous catch to rob Tyree Reed of extra bases in the top of the inning. And it ended up not mattering all that much as Jackson State did in fact come back to take the lead. First pitch, a strike fastball into the heart of the plate. Big hole between first and second as Boyness, the second baseman, is covering the bag. Rivera, big swing and miss. Rivera 0 for 2, a sac bunt. Sorry, it was an attempt bunt hit in the first and a strikeout in the fourth. That ended the inning with the bases loaded. We talked on Friday night, about how the clutch hitting kind of abandoned the Wildcats. And we're in those similar scenarios where you need clutch hits. You need hits in big spots. Rivera down 0-2. And he watches one low and inside. Rivera taps his bat twice. Climbs back in the box on a 1-2 count. The pitch from Lopez. Fouled away in the air, first base side. That will come down inside the Jackson State dugout. And Rivera will see another one. Rivera on a bit of a cold streak recently. Had one hit last night, but the previous 3 games went 0 for 12 combined. In the air, left field and deep. That's going back to the track, to the wall. Adios, amigos. It's a power surge for Sergio Rivera. And the Wildcats jump back on top 5-4.
I mean, fire me up, Sergio Rivera. That one was blasted exactly where Andre Martinez had hit his home run earlier in this game as well. That one on top of the batting cages. Just when the Wildcats needed a response, they grab it back.
Home run number 2 on the season for Sergio Rivera and number 5 in his Wildcat career. Now this one sent out to right center field, but it's not going to be far enough away from Isaac McClenty off the bat of Eric Almonte. There's out number 2.
And Serge was a bomb. That wasn't even just a home run. That one was a beauty of a swing. You could hear it as soon as it came off the bat. He felt it too, and what a way to put the Wildcats back on top.
This kind of feels like a game from last year for the Wildcats, where they just go quiet for really long stretches on offense, and then somewhere a switch gets flipped,
yep.
And then just the long ball shows up.
That's why this team can do it all. They can play the small ball, they can hit for power, bunt and move people over, situational hitting. It's all a part of their repertoire. It's going to help them so much. It's part of why they're so successful in not only the SWAC play, but in their non-conference this season as well. Finding different ways to win.
Daryl Lee watches one down and in as I try and get caught up on my scorecard. Yeah, it's a 2-balls, 1-strike count to Lee. Lee has reached base all 3 times, a bunt single and 2 walks. That one a strike at the knees. Lee not happy about it, but now it's 2-2. Wildcats have taken the lead back 5-4 with a 2-run home run by Sergio Rivera. And now 4, so technically all of the Wildcat runs today are on home runs. The 2-2 run shots in the inside the Parker. Here's the 2-2 to Lee. Over his head, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Once again, Jaden Edwards, the pitcher from Los Angeles, is warming up in the bullpen for Jackson State. He picked up the win in relief on Friday night. Here's the 3-2. Lee, a little knuckler right back to the mound, backhanding it is Lopez, and that's the end of the inning. But Sergio Rivera, a 2-run home run to give the Wildcats back to lead. It's 5-4 as we hit the back third. We go to the 7th here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. Well, this topsy-turvy Sunday afternoon keeps delivering as Bethune-Cookman goes up 5-4 and another 2-run home run, this time by Sergio Rivera. Justin Morales back on the hill after giving up 2 runs in the top of the 6th that allowed Jackson State to take a 4-3 lead. Wildcats now lead at 5-4. Curveball outside. Peyton Boynes, the second baseman, leads off. He's 0 for 2. A ground out and a pop out to first base. A 1-1. Morales, fastball just low. And it's 2 balls, 1 strike. This game has been so ridiculous. I have not had my time to go around the SWAC, so we'll start picking away at that now as we hit the 7th inning. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Fastball up and in. 2-2. Grambling State and Texas Southern are playing. Florida A&M is trying to close out a 3-game sweep of Alabama State up in Tallahassee. Southern and Prairie View are playing a rubber match. The 2-2. Popped up. Foul territory out of play. Count holds. Arkansas Pine Bluff is looking for a sweep of Alcorn State, and Mississippi Valley is looking for a sweep of Alabama A&M. Bounced away in the opposite batter's box. 3 balls, 2 strikes now on Boynes. Mississippi Valley up 4-0 on Alabama A&M in the top of the 2nd in Itabena. Here's the payoff pitch to Boynes. He loses his bat, pops it up, foul territory, and it's caught by Jorge Rodriguez. So 2 straight pop-ups to first base for Peyton Boynes. You hear all the noise, that's the softball team.
VCU softball is in the building. You know, it's been rare this season that we've had completed both of their games on Saturday, and then they can come to a game on Sunday for their schedules to line up too. It hasn't been like that all season, so for them to come out here has been awesome to support the boys, and some of the boys were at softball yesterday supporting them.
We heard from Jesus Venegas on the broadcast yesterday, had a special guest for a half inning. Breaking ball, first pitch strike to Robert Tate Jr., who's 0 for 3. A ground out, a fly out to right, and a strikeout. The only other score I have from around the SWAC right now is Arkansas Pine Bluff 4, Alcorn State 2 in the top of the third. Breaking ball, high chopper up the middle. Armonte charges, throws, and got him. On a stretch by Rodriguez, 2 outs. This might be a little bit too early, but Eric Almonte has had a really good day over at shortstop. Made a couple of really difficult plays up the middle, especially the one behind the bag back in this third inning to get McClenty. Or on the move to his left in one motion, picked and fired. Now 2 away. First pitch just low with the fastball. Ball 1 to Tyree Reed. Here's the danger part of the order. Reed, Cabral, Hudson, Patty Perez, who have done all the damage for Jackson State in this contest. Squares to bunt, bunts it foul right on top of the plate. A ball and a strike. Florida A&M looking to make a statement this weekend on the baseball diamond. They won 9-1 and 5-1 in their first 2 games against Alabama State. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball hit him on the leg. That was just a missed spot from Morales. He meant to start that further outside and have it cut in. But the Wildcats can't get the 1-2-3 inning. 1 on, 2 outs, and here's Cabral, who's 2 for 3 with a double and a single and a run scored. Is the general SWAC baseball consensus coming into conference play was Bethune-Cookman was #1, and then some combination of Alabama State, Florida A&M, and Arkansas Pine Bluff were the next teams up. And if you look at the standings before start of play today, Bethune-Cookman 7-1, Florida A&M and Pine Bluff at 6-2. Texas Southern has also crashed the party, also at 6-2. They've started the year really well. And a team that limped into the playoffs last year as the 8th seed, actually needed to beat Bethune-Cookman 1 out of 3 games in the final weekend series to even squeak in as that 8th seed, which they did do down in Sanford. They've started 6-2. The bats are hot. They're hitting the ball all over the place. And, of course, that's the one team that the Wildcats will not see in the regular season. The one team we skip is Texas Southern.
This game is so unpredictable. You never know who can show up night in and night out. It's going to be exciting as we get down the stretch.
Go back to first. Cabral doubled down the left field line of the 4th, scoring Tyree Reed. That put Jackson State on the board. Then was picked off at third base on a throwback by Lucena to Martinez. That's close at first, but getting a hand in there is Reed. Then Cabral singled left in the 6th. That was the first of the 4 hits, 6th for Jackson State. He came around to score on the Tyshawn Patty single. Another pitch over to first. Grambling State is also 6-2. Part of a 4-team tie for second. Then Jackson State 4-4. Southern 3-5. Alabama State, shockingly 3-6. Rough start to the conference schedule for them. Prairie View 2-6, Valley 2-6, Bama A&M 2-7, and Alcorn 1-7. And in the midst of all that throwing over to first base, Justin Morales gets himself a pitch clock warning. Still no count to Pierre Cabral, even though he's been in the batter's box for about a minute and a half. Another throw over to first, and this is the frustrating thing. There's 2 outs.
We know how you feel, yep.
Just get the batter and you go to the dugout anyway.
Yeah. Wanting to make sure that they have the runner in check, but also the batter at home. Want the right pitches.
Now the first pitch to Cabral, up and in, missed it for ball 1. You see Morales' command starting to waver a little bit. 20 pitches now for Morales. Giving up just 1 hit, but that was the 2-run double That one bounced to first base, and a great job by Jorge Rodriguez from keeping that out of the bullpen. The other problem with continuing to throw over there to first is you increase the likelihood of mistakes. Just giving free bases away. One 0. Almost a wild pitch to the backstop, corralled by Lucena over Cabral's head. 2 balls, no strikes. Nobody throwing yet for the Wildcats, but stretching definitely being done down there on the third base line. Hanging on to a 5-4 lead. Fastball does squirt away from Lucena. That'll be a wild pitch and a free base for Reed, and now all that checking over to first doesn't end up mattering. Tying run in scoring position, 3 balls, no strikes to Cabral, with Lamas on deck, who's 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a run scored. Three balls, no strikes. Ball to strike at the knees on the changeup. 3-1. Morales comes home with it. Breaking ball right down Broadway, 3-2. Two outs, tying run in scoring position here in the 7th. Justin Morales' payoff pitch. Breaking ball in the air. Deep left center field. Sergio Rivera racing over. He tracks it down. And the Wildcats get away scot-free. No runs, no hits, and no one left. Time to stretch at Jackie Robinson. Wildcats will try and improve on their 5-4 lead when we come back here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. Andre Martinez leads us off here in the bottom of the 7th. Wildcats looking for insurance, up 5-4 in this series decider between Bethune-Cookman and Jackson State. Jaden Lopez still on the bump for the Tigers. First pitch tipped foul back to the screen, and it's 0-1. Now 3 pitches shy from tying his longest appearance by pitch count of the season, which would be 110.
I'm surprised that they've left him in there for this long.
And outside the 2 missed spots on the home runs, he hasn't done a whole lot wrong.
No.
He has hit 3 batters. But mostly he's induced a lot of weak contact, and he's got 7 strikeouts. The 0-1 to Martinez. That one in the air to left center field. That one's going to hang up in the sky and be caught by Isaac McClenty as he cannoned into Cabral. and took a dive. One away in the inning on a play that was made much more difficult than it probably should have been.
That looked so uncomfortable from where we were sitting all the way out here. And it seemed that the left fielder had called the ball off in Cabral, and they were just, again, lack of communication from McClenty as well. Trying to figure out whose that is.
Now one away, here's Boyedo, first pitch breaking ball strike, backdoor slider. Boyedo 1 for 3, a double, a ground out, and a strikeout. As he has been doing for the better part of the last 3 innings, Jaden Edwards is still warming in the Jackson State bullpen. The 0-1. Boyedo, check swing. He went around, says the first base umpire, Jairo Martinez. And it's 0-2. Well, if Lopez gets through this inning easy, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back out for the 8th, especially if this game is still close.
I would not be either.
0-2. Way outside, 1-2. That 110-pitch performance was a 6-inning appearance against the University of Seattle in non-conference action on the 8th of March. The 1-2. Outside on a fastball, 2-2. He picked up the loss in that occasion as Seattle won 6-4. He gave up 4 runs on 4 hits. Struck out 4, walked 5. The 2-2. Boyedo in the air to shallow right. That'll be easy pickings for Reed, 2 outs. Wildcats back to how they've looked for most of this game. Just can't get much on it.
And they need to add insurance here. In these last 2 innings, if they want to stay ahead, this JSU team just continues to knock on the door, and Wildcats getting themselves out of it, but not with enough insurance.
Big swing from Michael Lucena. He's ahead of the slider. 0-1. Now it is officially Jaden Lopez's longest appearance of the season. 113 pitches and counting. Bounce to the plate. 1-1. He's allowed 5 runs on 6 hits, all earned and all on home runs. The inside the Parker by Eric Almonte, and then the 2 2-run bombs by Martinez and Sergio Rivera. 1 ball, 1 strike on Lucena, who is 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. Was hit his last time up. That one in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike. Lucena, the most efficient hitter on this Wildcats team at .367. And that one popped straight up in the air, just past the infield. Going back on it and securing it is Tate. So 3 easy pop-outs for the Wildcats in the 7th. We go to the 8th. Still a 1-run lead for the Maroon and Gold here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. Wildcats still up 5-4 as we go to the 8th. 2 innings left in this series. A very entertaining, very close-fought series between Bethune-Cookman and Jackson State. Justin Morales still in the game as we hit the 8th. First pitch, fastball down Broadway for strike one against Edwin Hudson Jr. The ideal for the Wildcats, I suppose, is Morales gets through this inning, still with the lead, and then you go to Pablo Torres in the 9th to try and close it out. Long hold and the 0-1. Fouled away, 0-2. Texas Southern leads Grambling State 4-1 in the top of the 5th. Out in Houston, UAPB has extended their lead over Alcorn State to 7-2. They're looking for the sweep. And it is still 4-0. Tapper, that's fair. Lucena to first, complete the out. It didn't look like Edwin Lemus Hudson Jr. knew what was going on there, as he didn't start running until it was well too late.
Good thing Lucena did, though, and got that out cleanly for the Wildcats, who need a quick 1-2-3.
And Mississippi Valley still leads 4-0 over Alabama A&M. That would be a sweep for Mississippi Valley State. And last season, first pitch up high, ball one to Tyshawn Patty. Last season, for a long time, Mississippi Valley was still in that kind of conversation of, well, if they have a good weekend, they can kind of backdoor their way into the tournament. They might seriously have a chance this year. 1-0. Ball to strike low and inside, 1-1. With the bottom of the SWAC as close as it is right now, bounce to the plate, 2-1 from Morales. I mean, you only got to be in the top 8, and if they can sweep Alabama A&M this weekend, they'll still have a chance to beat Alcorn State. Then really, when they play Prairie View A&M, that's just a 3-game playoff for that final playoff spot, if everything else holds steady. 2-1. Tip back to the screen, 2-2. Of course, the Wildcats, their next 2 weeks on paper, a chance to rack up some wins and get some cushion at the top of the conference. The 2-2 from Morales, he really overcooks that one. It barely reached the dirt in the air. 3 balls and 2 strikes. As you get Southern and Valley the next 2 weeks for Bethune-Cookman, on paper, 2 series that you should have well in hand. The 3-2. Justin Morales misses inside and walks Tyshawn Patty. His first walk of his appearance. Now the tying run on first, 1 out. Here's Wilbert Perez, who's 0 for 3. And now Morales has faced the whole 9. He was the first batter that Morales faced back in the 6th, then he struck out. He also struck out once against Bocabello in the 4th and grounded out to 3rd in the 2nd. Big curveball by Morales, misses high. Ball 1. Toss over to first. This weekend matchup featuring the 2 of the top 3 teams by hitting percentage in the league and the top 2 teams by runs scored in the league has not disappointed. Still in the balance at 5-4 in the top of the 8th. Upstairs 2-0. Justin Morales does not have the command that he started this assignment with. up around 35 pitches. His longest appearance of the year was 49 against Delaware State in 3 full innings back on February 27th. It'll tip off the inside of the bat back to the screen. 2 balls, 1 strike on Wilbert Perez, the first baseman for Jackson State. Morales gave up a run on and a hit in 1 1/3 innings with a strikeout against Jacksonville on Tuesday in his last appearance. And ended up taking the loss in that game. Just missed on the inside, 3-1.
We've talked about the strike zone being wonky today. That is no different than how it's been all game.
The 3-1 pitch. Right down the pipe, 3-2. Pablo Torres warming in the Wildcat bullpen, as is Andres Barroso, with a chance to potentially take the lead going to the 9th. Here's the 3-2. Inside, hit him. 2-on, 1 out, 1-run game. That might be the end for Morales. Walk, hit by pitch. And the second hit by pitch of this appearance for Justin Morales. Coach Hernandez looking at his notes. At the top step of the dugout, he will let Morales face Hendrik Torres, who knocked the 2-run single to center to, at the time, give Jackson State a 4-3 lead back in the 6th. First pitch, breaking ball, strike. The tying run on second is Tyshawn Patty. The potential go-ahead run on first in Wilbert Perez. Ball in the dirt, check, swing, no swing. Remember earlier in the game, Hendrik Torres, during a defensive inning at catcher, went down for quite a while with what looked to be a lower leg issue. He was able to stay in the game and eventually drive in the go-ahead runs for Jackson State in the 6th. He's got a chance to do it again. Throw back to second. In safely is Patty. Still just 1 out here in the 8th. This is what Jackson State baseball is all about. They put pressure on you constantly. Fastball, swing and a miss. 2 strikes on Torres, who's already struck out twice today. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Morales from the stretch. Misses with the breaking ball, 2-2, wanted to get a chase. Hendrik Torres did not oblige. Swing and a miss! Fastball up and in! Down goes Torres on strikes for the 3rd time today. 2 outs in the inning.
One of the biggest at-bats in this game right there. Justin Morales wins that one after tough batters back-to-back. Gets the strikeout.
Now here is McClenty. 1 for 3. His hit a bunt single that caused some infield chaos back in the 5th, but that was with nobody on. Breaking ball outside, missed with the slider. Again, the tying run on second in the form of Tyshawn Patty. The potential go-ahead run on first with Wilbert Perez. 2 outs, top 8. Wildcats up 5-4. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball in the zone. Strike one. The Wildcats are hoping that Morales can get through this unscathed, so they'll have a lead going to the 9th. But nothing is guaranteed. Fastball low. 2-1. Both base runners off of Morales' mistakes, the walk and the hit by pitch. Can he clean it up? A big, big hole off the right side. Breaking ball, he went around. 2 strikes. That one was nowhere close, and McClenty offered at it. The Wildcats 1 strike away from getting out of the jam. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Swing and a miss! Ball in the dirt! Lucena tags McClenty on the rear end! And Justin Morales gets out of the jam. The Wildcats will have the lead going to the 9th, but they have one more chance for some insurance in the bottom of the 8th coming next here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. For the first time all game, Jackson State goes to the bullpen, and they turn to the man who picked up the win on Friday night to keep this deficit at just 1. 5-4 Bethune-Cookman bottom 8. Here's Jaden Edwards, the junior, out of Los Angeles, California, and East LA Community College. First pitch is in the air to right center field. That's going to split the defenders and be caught on a run by Reed. A tremendous catch by Reed to rob extra bases from Jose Fernandez.
The way that ball came off the bat, you thought it was going to drop in that gap, but it just continued to spin. The right fielder making a good jump on it to record that out. Jackson State knows that it's do or die time. They're going to go all out for every ball they can.
There have been some terrific outfield plays in this game made by both teams. McClenty with the diving catch. Obviously, Sergio Rivera with one of the catches of the year, leaping up against the wall. Now Michael Rodriguez, who's had a tough day, grounded out, walked, and had been hit by a pitch in his 3 plate appearances. First pitch, low, ball 1. This is the 13th appearance of the season for Jaden Edwards. 16 innings pitched. He's given up 10 runs on 12 hits, all earned. And the righty's 1-0, outside 2-0. striking out 17 and walking 19. He's allowed 2 doubles, both Friday night to Bethune-Cookman. 1 homer, 3 wild pitches, 6 hit by pitches. His record is 1-0 with 2 saves. The 1 win, of course, coming on Friday night against BCU. The 2-0, 3-0 outside and low with the fastball. Friday night, against Bethune-Cookman, he went 2 1/3 to close the game out. Gave up 1 run on 2 hits, struck out 2, walked 1. Both hits he allowed were doubles. The 3-0 is a strike, and it's 3-1 on Mikey Rodriguez. Wildcats looking for some insurance here in the bottom of the 8th, up 5-4. Trying to win this series over the weekend at home, their last home series for 2 whole weeks. Called strike 2 as Michael Rodriguez was ready to flip his bat and head to first, and it's a 3-2 count. That's another one of those really egregious ones. That was well low. Derek Cartaya calls time to try and calm down his senior hitter. Both teams have battled the inconsistent strike zone today. Both teams have been bit by it, but I think on the grand scheme of things, the Wildcats more so. And now a AB that looked like it was going to be 100% a walk is now a 3-2 count. Michael Rodriguez getting some coaching from Derek Cartaya. Stay up to date with everything BCU Athletics by checking out the Wildcats on social media. Give BCU Athletics a like on Facebook and follow the Wildcats on X and Instagram at BCU_Athletics for the latest on BCU baseball. Follow at BCU Diamondcats on X and Instagram. And I know you're going to bring it up. You can now follow BCU Athletics on TikTok as well for behind the scenes and some silly content as we show the personalities of our players and staff here at BCU. The 3-2. That time it is ball 4. And so after that long wait, Michael Rodriguez eventually goes down to first, and now here's Jorge Rodriguez.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 33,
Jorge Rodriguez today struck out of the 2nd. Hit by a pitch in the 4th and had a sac bunt in the 6th, where he was put out 1 unassisted as Lopez took the ball and sprinted ahead of him all the way to first. First pitch almost hit him again. He has to lean out of the way. A ball and no strikes. Wildcats have been hit by 4 pitches in this ballgame. The 1-0. Yanked in the opposite batter's box by Edwards, 2-0. And they got hit by 5 pitches last night, including 4 in just the 6th inning.
I hope they're taking a lot of ice baths.
Yeah.
Full body ones.
Needed after this weekend. The 2-0. Up and in, 3 balls, no strikes on Jorge Rodriguez. Wildcats up 5-4, but would love some insurance before they go to the bottom of the 9th, and it will likely be Pablo Torres to try and close things out for Bethune-Cookman. Michael Rodriguez on first after a walk with 1 out in the inning. That time in on the hands, called strike. Fastball caught the inside corner, 3-1. Big hole on the third base side for Jorge Rodriguez if he wants to try and pull one. Rodriguez goes, throw down to second will not matter as that is ball 4. Two straight walks by Jaden Edwards, and already throwing down there in the Jackson State bullpen. It's another name we've heard before, Cade Walker, who also pitched on Friday. And Edwards' day might be done already as here comes the 20-year head coach Omar Johnson out to talk to his relief pitcher. So now Sergio Rivera, who is 1 for 3 with a 2-run home run. Now with a chance with the speedy Michael Rodriguez on second to give the Wildcats a 2-run lead. We talked about the clutch hitting all season, and no more so is it important than moments like this. Edwards will stay in the game. Two straight walks by Jaden Edwards have put Michael Rodriguez on second and Jorge Rodriguez on first. Sergio Rivera, who launched a mammoth home run onto the top of the batting cages in left field back in the 6th inning. That was the last runs the Wildcats scored. At the time, it made it 5-4, a score that it holds to this moment. Sergio squared to bunt. The ball bounced to the plate, cricket style. And it's a ball and no strikes. Again, a lot of attention paid to Michael Rodriguez at second base, so the gaps either side of the shortstop and second baseman are pretty big. Again, a square to bunt, and again, a ball low. Rodriguez retreats back to second. I'm not sure I like this call with 1 out, Jade, because then even if you get the runners to second and third, you're going to need a hit to bring him in. You can't sacrifice him in.
I think they're trying to trust with the speed of Serge that he will get there and lay down the correct bunt.
2 balls, no strikes. Called strike low and inside, 2-1. Wildcats trying to give some insurance to their defense for the 9th. Edwards is 2-1. Taken for a strike at the letters. Rivera does not agree, and it's 2-2. Now Rivera got to swing away. This would be a big out if Edwards can get it here. And he does. Second strikeout for Sergio Rivera in a big spot today. He struck out to strand the bases loaded in the 4th, and now he strikes out looking for the second out here in the 8th. And here is Eric Almonte, who started things with a bang in the 1st with an inside the park home run, but other than that has flied out to center twice and struck out looking. And with what the strikeout has been today, a strike zone has been today, you have to protect with 2 strikes on anything close. Almonte rips the ball to center field, going back on it and making the catch is McClenty, and that is it. The Wildcats 3 outs away from a series win, but it's only a 5-4 lead as we go to the 9th here on the CatEye Radio Network and SWAC TV. to the ninth. The Wildcats of Bethune-Cookman 3 outs away from getting a series win over Jackson State, but the lead is just 5-4. And the Wildcats making a very risky move here, keeping Justin Morales in the game. Already his longest appearance of the season, 51 pitches for Morales. Now it'll be 52 after the first pitch strike to Peyton Boynes, who's 0 for 3, 2 pop-outs on the infield, and a ground out to short in the ball game. Oh, 1. Breaking ball in the zone, 0-2. But I got to imagine, Jay, that the leash is very short on Morales with both Barroso and Torres warming in the bullpen.
Definitely short. They don't want this game to get out of hand. And it's Pablo Torres and Anthony Anselmo down there.
Anselmo. Tip back to the screen. Boynes stays alive.
Barroso's our man, making sure no foul balls get over and hit the players, or there's no balls coming into fair territory.
Yeah, I know I saw him out there somewhere.
Yeah.
He is the bullpen backstop. He's the human wall, because our bullpens are not fenced in. They're just out in the open down the lines. 0-2. Check swing in the dirt. Did he go? No. Boynes by the skin of his teeth, still in the batter's box on a 1-2 count. That time, swing and a miss, but the ball gets away from Lucena. No play at first, and a man on. So call it a strikeout wild pitch. Advance to first for Peyton Boynes. Tying run aboard with nobody out. That's not really Morales' fault. Lucena just did not glove that pitch.
It's just unfortunate when you need to have it out there. Instead, there's a runner on base. JSU will take it. They don't mind. They just need runners on the base paths to try to drill them in.
Top of the order, Robert Tate Jr. Slider strike, first pitch after he pulled the bunt back. Tying run on first in the form of Peyton Boynes, who reached after a strikeout. And a wild pitch, the 0-1. Lays bunt, the foul. Back to the screen. 0-2. The best part of this Jackson State order coming up. Tate, Reed, Cabral, Hudson. Morales, an 0-2 advantage. In the count, he deals. Tipped back to the screen again. Fastball over the heart of the plate. Couldn't connect with it. Once again, the 0-2. Line drive foul, barely. Right outside of first. Still 0-2 to Tate, who is 0 for 4. 2 ground outs, 1 to the pitcher, 1 to shorts. A fly out to right and a strikeout. Tate was 3 for 5 on Friday, a triple, 2 singles, and 2 runs scored. In the air, right center. Sergio Rivera all the way over, calls off Rodriguez for out number 1.
I like that Serge just took control of that situation right there, called off Mikey, he was making the jump over there, covering the ground, secures the out, no questions asked.
Now batting the right fielder, number 22, Tyree Reed.
Now it's Tyree Reed. Flied out to shallow right in the first, doubled and scored in the fourth, was robbed by the tremendous catch for Sergio Rivera in left center field in the 6th, then was hit by a pitch and stranded on second of the 7th. First pitch up and out, ball 1, missed with the fastball, did Morales. 1-0. Caught the outside corner with the fastball, 1-1. Justin Morales has thrown almost as many pitches in his 3 innings as Tanner Bocabello did in his 5 1/3. In the air, left field and deep, going back, and Darrell Lee hauls it in on the move near the track. A potential game-saving catch by D. Lee, and the Wildcats are 1 out away.
That ball was right on a line, straight into left field. Darrell Lee had to get back quickly and put his glove up and make that catch. He missed one earlier in the game, similar to that same play, but makes the grab this time, really saving the Wildcats.
The last ups for Jackson State is maybe the man you want in this situation, Pierre Cabral. Cabral 2 for 4, an RBI double, a single, and score, and he puts this ball in the air towards Sergio Rivera in center field, and the Wildcats pour out of the dugout. This one belongs to the maroon and gold. Bethune-Cookman wins a hard-fought series over Jackson State, 2-1. They did it with the long ball. 3 home runs, one of the inside the park variety. Get it done for Bethune-Cookman today. Tanner Bocabello does very well in 5 1/3, and Justin Morales actually picks up the win. Tanner Bocabello still has no record despite now 8 starts on the season.
I thought this was his best, though. He came out very in control, confident on the mound, just continued to work quickly, get his team back to the plate as quickly as possible, and then they just came back and showed why they are the #1 team in the SWAC this year and why they're the defending champs, because they needed to come back after that Friday game, after that Friday loss, and just put an exclamation point on what this team can do here in the SWAC. They can win at home, face adversity, and yet still secure the series win.
Oh boy, finding a player of the game is going to be tough.
Right.
I mean, with Andre Martinez and Sergio Rivera both hit home runs. It's got to be Sergio Rivera, though. I want to see how many putouts he made today. 1, 2, 3. I'm looking at the wrong page of my notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 putouts in center field, including a couple of spectacular ones for Sergio Rivera, as well as the home run. He's got to be my player of the game.
Yeah, he had an absolute massive game today and just continued his season as a whole. He's been such a leader for this Wildcat side. From game 1 till now, he'll continue to be that way, just raising the standard, keeping the intensity high in the dugout, always being a leader, and just showing what this team is made of. He had a fantastic day today.
Stay right with us here on the CatEye Network post-game show. We hope to hear from Wildcat head coach Johnny Hernandez as the Wildcats take down the Jackson State Tigers 5-4 after their 13-2 win last night and a 8-7 loss on Friday. They win the series 2-1, just like they did last year against Jackson State. They lost the first game close and then won the next 2. It wasn't as convincing as last year's 2 wins, but at this point, wins are wins, and it doesn't matter how you get them. It just matters that there's one in the win column. For Jackson State, as I finish writing down the final line score in my scorebook. For Jackson State, they scored 4 runs on 9 hits, committed no errors, and left 8 on base. Bethune-Cookman 5 runs on only 6 hits. Of course, the long ball did the damage for Bethune-Cookman today with the 2 real home runs and then the inside the Parker. They committed 1 error and left 8 on base. And I want to talk about that just 1 error, right? They didn't allow it to spiral.
Yep.
The error was committed back in the 6th inning. It was by Tanner, well, the 5th inning, rather. It was by Tanner Bocabello right before he got taken out of the game. It was fielding a bunt. He threw the ball away at first, but he didn't come back to let that run bother him.
Yep.
He didn't let that run score. He got out of the inning, and it didn't collapse the mental for Bethune-Cookman. They stayed composed and had probably one of their better defensive outings of the season today.
Yeah, they just stayed completely steady, which I feel like we haven't seen a very clear performance from the defensive side this entire season, but today it was clean. It was very simple baseball. They didn't try to overcomplicate it. I think that's what worked best for them.
The win goes to Justin Morales. His record now 2-1. Jaden Lopez takes the loss. He is now 3-2. No save recorded this afternoon. Time of the ball game, 2 hours and 46 minutes from 1 p.m. to 3:46 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, as we wait for Coach Hernandez to get up here to the press box, let's go around the SWAC one more time and get you some stats from these Sunday games that are closing out the series. It looks like it's going to be a sweep, and it is indeed a sweep for Florida A&M. They win 7-2 over Alabama State in Tallahassee. So FAMU and Bethune-Cookman are going to be atop the standings after this weekend. It's 12-2, Arkansas Pine Bluff over Alcorn State. They've blown this game open in the 4th and 5th. Mississippi Valley State, that game is in a rain delay, which is why the score hasn't changed for a while. Still 4-0 over Alabama A&M out in Mississippi Valley. I will run you down a Texas Southern score. No score from, and no live stats available for Southern and Prairie View. That is a rubber match series in Baton Rouge. Once again, the Wildcats win this one 5-4. The lead was swapped back and forth multiple times throughout the game. The Wildcats led off the scoring with an inside-the-park home run by Eric Almonte in the top of the 1st. Then didn't score again till the 5th, and in that time, the Tigers came back to tie the game with 2 straight doubles in the 4th inning that eventually Tanner Bocabello worked out of. Then the Wildcats jumped back on top with a 2-run Andre Martinez home run of the 5th, his 2nd home run of the year. An absolute bomb over the batting cages in left field. That gave the Wildcats a 3-1 lead. But immediately in the top of the 6th, Jackson State would respond, getting 4 singles and 5 batters to take a 4-3 lead, including chasing starter Tanner Bocabello. Justin Morales came in, got out of the inning, and did not allow another run the rest of the way. The Wildcats' last runs would come in the bottom of the 6th. Immediately afterwards, the Wildcats responded with a 2-run home run by Sergio Rivera, his 2nd of the year and 5th as a Wildcat, to blast one over the left field wall. And that ended the scoring 5-4, Bethune-Cookman. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll hear from head coach Johnny Hernandez. Stick around for the postgame show here on the CatEye Radio Network. Wildcats win it 5-4. Welcome back on the CatEye Network postgame show. We're now joined by Bethune-Cookman head coach Johnny Hernandez. Coach, a big series win and a nice bounce back after Friday night. I didn't get to talk to you yesterday because we were out at softball. But how important was it for you guys to complete the weekend after a setback on Friday night?
No, I think it's huge, right? I think it speaks to the character of our ball club. Not every series is going to go obviously the way that you want to start it off. But, the good thing with baseball is every day is a new opportunity. So just proud of the guys, the way how we responded back yesterday. And today was a gritty win for the entire team. So, again, it doesn't matter how the weekend starts. It's how you finish and how you're able to respond when you face adversity.
We haven't seen this team go with the long ball that much, but 2 big home runs and an inside the Parker by Almonte are the entire scoring that you guys put forth today. What does it say about this offense that they can win the game in a multitude of different ways?
Oh, that's the biggest thing, right? I think our coaches do a phenomenal job of not being one-dimensional, right? As everyone knows, right, we can get after it long ball wise. We've proven we can do that, but the offense is not one-dimensional, right? Just like yesterday, everything got started. You know, we get a hit, then we put some pressure on the defense. You know, we have a safety to get it going, and we took advantage. And today, you know, just 2 big, you know, obviously hits from Sergio and Almonte to go with the long ball, so to speak. But again, I'm just proud that we're not one-dimensional and we keep working every day, and I'm excited about, you know, what we have left for the rest of the year.
The defense looked a lot better today. I mean, the outfield is always spectacular. Sergio Rivera's catch at the left field wall is going to live long in my memory of one of the best moments that I've seen covering this team. But the infield looked a lot more solid today. Middle infield as well. Only made 1 error, and that was just on a bunt.
Yeah, you know, as long as we can keep, you know, a 0 under the E column in the scoreboard, we give ourselves a pretty good shot, you know, against anybody in the country, to be honest with you. So, you know, it's something that they work hard every day. You know, Coach Cartaya works, you know, tirelessly with all the infielders and with the position guys to, you know, clean up the defense. And again, it shows that if you play clean defense, right, you pitch well like we did today and we have timely hitting, we're going to be successful.
Thank you for your time, Coach. Good luck on your 9-game road trip, and we will see you back here in almost a month. April 17th is the next home game here at the Jack.
You got it. Hail Wildcats.
Once again, your final score, Bethune-Cookman, 5 runs on 6 hits, 1 error, left 8 on base. Jackson State, 4 runs on 9 hits, committed no errors, and left 8 on base. The winning pitcher, Justin Morales. The losing pitcher, Jaden Lopez. The Wildcats take a 2-1 series win. Their record now 19-9, 8-1 in the SWAC. Jackson State falls to 13-16 and are 4-5 in the SWAC. For producer Lee Gillum and KC on the cameras, Jade Burkett joined me in commentary today. My name is Michael Torello. Thank you so much for watching all weekend long. We'll be back next time on Tuesday for Wildcat Baseball on the road at USF. Hail Wildcats.